Welcome to A Friday Reads, where I talk about what I've read, what I'm reading, and what I hope to get to next. And if you saw this thumbnail, I have a little mini book haul. Right before vacation, I bought a bunch of books, and a book came in from eBay. Yeah, so the physical TBR is a little longer than what you saw last week, which if you didn't see, I posted a video with my entire physical TBR, which I find quite manageable, but also it was daunting at the time being surrounded by all my books. But let's just get into it. I have read quite a bit since I was out of town. Not a lot, but I'm very pleased with all of the things that I have finished. So starting with A Natural History of Dragons. This one was one my patrons picked for me to read, and I'm so glad they did. It was gifted to me by two friends. It's a book that's kind of been staring at me at bookstores for years, and that I've always been it sounds like a book I'm supposed to want to read, but the cover was very off-putting to me because I didn't want a fake textbook on dragons, which thankfully that's not what this is. It's very a different world, sort of inspired by our Victorian era history, and we follow this character, Lady Trent, who is telling this story of her life. She's writing this memoir of how she became the natural historian of dragons, even though that was not a women's profession, and this is the first part of her journey. And it was really cool. I really love the character of Lady Trent. She's fantastic. I love the illustrations. They are so pretty. And I really appreciate it. As someone who's not a visual reader, a big part of this story is describing these dragons, and I could see them. It was really quite a treat. It was quite fantastic, and I think everyone in the Discord can attest it's just delightful. This was a delightful time. We all enjoyed it. And I can't wait to continue. I think maybe on my September TBR, I might be getting to the sequel. We shall see. Have not really made that a solid decision yet, but I think it'll be happening. But such a good read. I'm so glad my patrons and my two friends sent me the book, and I finally read it. It's just feels good to have finally read it, and that it was a fantastic time. I also finished Illusionary, which I know I had put on hold for a very long time. And guys, Is it objectively a 5-star read? No. But my enjoyment was off the charts. It was everything I wanted the sequel to be. I knew exactly what tropes were going to happen after I finished Incendiary. I finished that book and I'm like, oh, we're going to go there. It's going to be great. And then we went there, and it was only 350 pages, and I picked it up again after reading the first third in July and having to put it down to read the indie books. And I picked it up the day I was leaving vacation, just being I just didn't have a book yet, and I was starting a sci-fi, but I wasn't quite in that reading space. I picked it up and I don't know, read 150, 170 pages. I was able to read in the car for way longer than normal. I spent the whole night cuddled with the book. It was so good. I had such a fun time. But it's a tropey young adult book with the romance tropes that I very much enjoy. And there were emotional moments for me where I was kind of on the edge of my seat. I was very concerned, and I really did how it wrapped up. It is a duology that I could see myself reading for comfort again in the future. And I don't say that all the time about just for fun reads, but I was so cozy and comfortable, and it did exactly what I wanted a book to do at that time, which was completely immerse me and help me just escape and have fun before the vacation was over. So good. I had such a fun time. And I also finished First Light, which I've talked about on many a TBR and anticipated releases video, but I had never told you a plot synopsis because I didn't know what it was about. I had forgotten, and I finished it, and I am so excited that this is a trilogy that's getting released one book a month because I need the other books. So the first book comes out in September, I believe the 14th, and then the next one's October, and the other one is November, and then the trilogy's done, which I am so excited. The first book is in the United States, 99 cents, and I think it's all available for Kindle Unlimited. So what's this book about? Gosh, can I even describe it? It's multi-point of view space book, military sci-fi, kind of. One of the main characters is in the military. We have another main character who's a bounty hunter, and another one who's a scientist, and all their plot lines are sort of intertwined because one of our main characters, Jaya, she's human. All of our main characters are different races as well. There's different species. There's basically 3 species superpowers in space. And you have humans, one that's like cat people, and the other one that I don't really know how to describe them as a race. I just know that they are always described as alien. So I think they are humanoid, just like the other two races, but are not anatomically the same. I'm not sure. I'm not good at picking up descriptions, so my bad. Not the book's bad. So you have these 3 species. We have our 3 characters, one from each. The scientist is the alien one, the bounty hunter is the cat-like one, and our human is the military one. And we start with her, and she's kind of part of this counter-terrorism unit, and there's this big terrorism force in space that is causing these massive biological events, like killing whole colonies with these weapons that they're releasing. And they're trying to figure that out. And at the same time, we have this scientist doing particular research into certain viruses, and this bounty hunter with a past. And it kind of goes from there. It was a very good blend of action-packed, fast-paced intrigue with really good character moments and character development. Like, it was a very good blend for me. This is probably one of the action-packed sci-fis I have enjoyed the most recently, because I think it leaned into a lot of character relationship moments and individual character moments. I had a really fun time with it. I was really wanting to know what would happen next, and that was despite the fact that I did guess some moments before they happened. Not too far ahead of it, and I do think the clues were there the whole time. I was just picking up on the clues, so I didn't mind. And that wasn't, like, the point. Like, what was intriguing was not the twist moment. Like, it wasn't these big reveals, although there were these, like, big moments. And I'm interested in where we are going next. And it is just a fun time. I had, again, another just really fun read. The audiobook I've been working on is We Free the Stars. I am almost done with it. Probably will finish it later today or tomorrow, depending on what chores I have. I have, like, 1 hour left in my reading speed sort of thing. And I really like it. I do think this is a duology that I've been enjoying even more with audiobook. You have 2 narrators, one for Zahira and one for Nasir, and other male-voiced characters. And it's really good. I really love the voice acting, especially for Nasir and Altair. So good. If you know, you know. It's just full of really fun drama and angst and save the day vibes. Really a lot of things that don't actually typically work for me, but I think because it's audiobook and because I am so invested in Zahira and Nasir, it's just been a fantastic time. And I've been seeing so many people read We Hunt the Flame lately, and it's made me so excited because I feel like when I was reading it last summer, not many people had talked about it. But I'm not in young adult fantasy spheres, but it just felt like even there it was a little quiet, and I'm now just seeing so many people in book Twitter marking it as read on Goodreads, and it's just been so fun. And a lot of people have been, like, jumping right into the sequel because the sequel is one you just want to jump right into after We Hunt the Flame. So if you're an audiobook person, I really love the sequel in audio. The first one had, like, a thing that bothered me, which I won't bring up because I think once you hear it, you can't unhear it, and I don't want to be that person. But it's been a fun time. I've been really enjoying that duology. And so what am I reading next? Don't know. I'm torn. I think it's time. I think I'm going to pick up Ship of Destiny, and that's just going to be my physical read for the rest of the month. I might not finish it completely in August, but that's okay, because these are big books. But I think I'm ready to just sink into a Robin Hobb. I think it's time. So, 3rd book in the Live Ship Trader series. Really love the series. I have a review for the first book if you're curious, and spoiler thoughts for both of them, the first 2. And now I guess we'll get into this little haul in front of me. So the first one should come as no surprise because I am a Nicky Drayden fangirl at this point, so I got this book called Temper, which, again, who does the cover art for Nicky Drayden? I don't know, but I love it. I don't know what this is about. I didn't need to know. I just bought it. It's the last novel that I hadn't read or had my hands on. I still need to get a copy of The Prey of Gods, so I have a complete collection. But I really like it. Don't know what it's about, and don't care. There's a really cool tattoo on this person's arm, and it's Nicky Drayden. And then I bought Folklorn. So I'm pretty shallow sometimes when I buy my books. I know this is probably going to be a little bit more speculative, introspective fantasy. Standalone. The author's name is Angela, so I bought it. The main character is a particle physicist, so I bought it. I'm not a particle physicist, but I am Angela, and I am a physicist. And I wanted it. It also has Korean mythology in it, I think. And yes, sign me up for all the mythology all the time. And the cover is so cool. Look how shiny it is. So I saw it on the shelf, and I was just like, yes. And I think it's a debut. I'm not positive, but I really, really wanted to pick it up. This one I found in the used book section, so it wasn't that expensive, and I have read this before, and I really like it, and I think it'd be a great reread for like spooky season. And that's The Ocean at the End of the Lane by Neil Gaiman. This is like the only Neil Gaiman that I really love. Besides like when he does TV show stuff. Like I like when he does TV show stuff, and I like Good Omens, but Good Omens is like Terry Pratchett and him. This is like the written word by Neil Gaiman that I love. I think I read it on a car ride all in one sitting because it's like that engrossing. It's been years since I've read it, probably 5 or 6, and all I remember is it was very unsettling, and it was kind of in this town. I can't even remember if the kids were moving there or what. I think there might have been a nanny figure. I cannot give a good synopsis for this because it's been so long. All I know is that it really gripped me, and it was very unsettling, and I liked it. And I love this hardcover. Like, it's such a good hardcover. And normally novellas like this cost like $20, and this one, $26. This was originally $26. This was $9. So pretty much a steal. Like, look at this. There's just like someone standing here. Like, why are they doing that? This coloring, it's such a creepy book. Like, in a good way. And this will make Monica from Mooney Reads very happy, but I finally bought the used copy of Do You Dream of Terror 2 that keeps staring at me at my bookstore. I don't know much about this other than a lot of people I know have read it and really liked it. It's sci-fi. I've been told that I will enjoy it. It just kept staring at me, and it's such a good flop. Like, it's so floppy and lovely. So that's happening. And then this last one was just, I knew it was on sale at my bookstore, and I had to read it for my local book club at that bookstore, and that's Migrations. I don't really know what it's about, but it's short. The hardback was on sale for $8. And honestly, a hardback for $8 is a steal. Like, can't complain. So I've added to the physical TBR, but that's fantastic. I don't really care. And in other news of media that's consumed my life, Ryan and I watched The White Lotus, which is on HBO Max. That show is insane. That show is so weird. I don't even know how to like define the genre that is that show. It's like a satire, drama, tragic comedy. It's so unsettling. Like, down to like the theme song music, which, yes, I'm so glad it had theme song music. I feel like so many shows don't have theme song music anymore, and it makes me sad. But like the theme song music is just like, I think perfectly describes the show. Like, I think if you just like listen to the theme song music, that is the show's vibes, like in a nutshell. So just know I have watched that. Ryan and I both watched it, devoured it. I still don't even know. Like, I mean, I'm excited that it's going to be an anthology series and that they're going to do a season 2, but I don't require it. And I don't know if, like, they can capture lightning in a bottle twice. Like, let's see. But, like, this was so good in terms of, like, the score, and the acting was off the charts, and, like, the cringe humor was, like, perfectly balanced. Like, at least for me. Like, sometimes if it's too much cringe humor, I just, like, I can't. Like, I just get so, like, secondhand embarrassment. But this was, like, I don't know, it was done really well, and it was just like a lot of art. I cannot describe this show. That's why I don't review TV shows. I can barely review books. But in terms of media that I really enjoyed, it's a mini series. It's complete thought for 6 hours. I recommend, at least if you're okay with, you know, HBO using like sex and graphic scenes. You know, it's HBO. They do weird stuff. But that's it for this one. If you want to leave an emoji to let me know you're here, I guess leave a flower. I think there might be a lotus, but I'm not positive. So just like leave a flower as your emoji. Let me know what you've been reading since I've been out of town, since I feel like I haven't done a, you know, Friday Reads Currently Reading in so long. What are you hoping to finish before the end of the month? And like if you liked it, subscribe if you want to, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.